guys, it's Nurse Jay, Nursing the Truth. I hope everyone is having a great day. It's Wednesday, and so there again, the nurse is here to set you free. So, here today, I was checking my comments, and on one of my videos from a long time ago, I had someone comment me in Latin. Why do you have to be a weasel and write me in Latin? Go ahead and just tell me in English what you think about it. So, anyway, I looked up what the comment was and basically calling me a stupid, foolish woman. So, I removed your idiotic comment because if you are not, you know, I guess, per se, you're not smart enough to look into your own Latin version that Jerome gave you, well, then you're stupid. So get off my channel, troll, and go find it for yourself. Now, I've also had some people still a little, want to know more about Josephus and the Piso family and the names and all. I was thinking about getting a whiteboard and writing things down, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. It does sound like a good idea. I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to do things on the computer, so that's why I do the videos how I do them. I wish I could do like music and play videos and pictures, but like I said, guys, I just don't know how to do it. So if anyone knows how to do that, well, send me some comments so I can try to find that. It would be awesome. So let's talk about the Piso / Josephus family in the New Testament. Guys, before I crept up on the subject and I read the book called Piso Christ by J. Gallus and Roman Piso, I guess that's his pen name, or he could be from the Piso bloodline, spilling the beans on their own family, because the research that this man has done over 35 to 40 years is incredible. And I know myself that this is an exhaustive work. So for that man to come out and say the things that he does and can prove, and then I go back and research what he says, and I can't find any fault in it. But anyway, we know Josephus / Saul, Paul, and the family members, his son Justus and Julian and Proculus, and his foster stepbrother Pliny the Younger, and you've had Tacitus and Suetonius, and all them that were in on it, and Trajan, and guys, the list goes on and on. So we also know that Josephus was from the Hasmonean bloodline. And so what happened is Rome put the Herodians in rule, and basically they were the people that converted to Judaism in Idumea. So they're like the fake Jews, you know what I mean? So anyway, so they wanted to make a new religion, based off of Judaism, the Herodian Hasmonean hierarchy that got to put the priest in place. Now, Josephus, like I said, has many names, and also too, King Herod was his great-great-grandfather. Archelaus and Antipas and Philip and Herod the Tetrarch were his uncles. Herodias, the wife of Philip, was his great aunt. Agrippa the First was his grand uncle, as was Tiberius, Julius, Alexander. Aristobulus was his great grandfather, and Agrippa II, Bernice II, and Drusilla were his mother's first cousins. So, that is a lot to digest. So, when you read the New Testament, why are all these people in it? You know, you're scratching your heads. Why? What is going on? Okay, we are in the first century and we know it's the Roman Jew War and a lot of things are going on. Why are these people so much in this? I mean, popular nobility. What in the hell do they have to do with the story? Now, when I was reading the Bible some years ago, Romans 16:11, it says, "Salute Herodian, my kinsman." Well, I wasn't putting two and two together. Kinsman means blood relative or relative. And I'm like, okay, if this is Paul writing in Romans, why is he telling the reader that he is related to the Herodians? But if he's related to the Herodians, then why is he this follower of the Jews, these Christians, when he was supposed to be against the Christians? But friends, I have to tell you, these quote unquote people that are saying Christians were not what we call orthodoxy today. These were your Jews that, excuse me, broke off into splinter groups like Gnostics and stuff. You know, Simonians and your Orphites and your Sethians and your Ebionites, your Essenes, your Pharisees, your Zealots. All these factions were running around. Valentinians, Basilides, Dosithians. I mean, look this up for yourselves, guys. These were Jews that were being, quote unquote, persecuted. Okay? Even your Egyptians. So, why is he saying that? Paul is telling you, I am a kinsman of the Herodians. Well, yeah, Josephus, you are. He is telling you behind the scenes of who he's related to. But see, this book was for the Roman aristocrats. So now we're going to go to Matthew 2 and Luke 1 and 5, where he's talking about Herod the Great. He's telling you there. Okay, so he's naming his blood relatives. And I'm kind of go down the list. I'm going to go through all of them, but I'm just kind of showing you where this is put in. Matthew 14, 1 through 10, he's talking about Antipas, Philip, Luke 3 and 1. Herod Philip, Matthew 14, 3 and 11. Herodias, Matthew 14, 3 to 11. Salome, Matthew 14, 6 through 11. Herod Agrippa, Acts 12. Agrippa II, Acts 25, 13 through 27. Bernice, Acts 25, 13 through 27. Drusilla, Acts 24, 24. Aristobulus, Romans 16, 10. And Tiberius, Julius, Alexander, 4 and 6. There are other relatives and ancestors in the New Testament that was related to him as well. Arsinoe. You're like, well, who in the hell is that, Nurse J? Arsinoe was the sister of Cleopatra, the famous Cleopatra the seventh Pharaoh of Egypt. Mentioned in 1 Corinthians 6, 9 and 1 Timothy 1 and 10. Yes, truth seekers, truth is stranger than fiction. But you see, I like truth. And nothing surprises Nurse J because it is what it is. I need to get a shirt that says that. It is what it is. Because, see, Josephus comes out of the bloodline of Mark Antony and Octavia. Okay? He's no kin to Cleopatra. Okay? So he's going to be against Cleopatra. And he doesn't write anything good about her. So, anyway, Ptolemy Auletes. That is the Ptolemy line, Cleopatra's line. And it was the father of Cleopatra. He's honored in Matthew 4:23 and Revelation 18:12 by using his name, Auletes. Is that sick or what? So let's go ahead and read Revelation 18:12. It's the last book. And let's see what we get. And I hope I'm not boring you, friends. I love doing this kind of stuff. Praise God. Because I expose things. All right. 1822. Oh boy, here we go. Or maybe I've got the wrong one. I know I'm in the right chapter, friends. Okay, well, let's do Matthew 4:23. Let's see. Because I know I've read it in here. And I thought that was weird. I'm like, well, why is that here? I don't understand that. Well, there's not a... Oh, yeah, there is. Hold on. Okay, well, maybe I have the wrong version. But anyway. Auletes. Aulus Vitalis. All right, so Aulus. Okay, so let's look. I've got Mark 6:15, Matthew 5:39, 1 Timothy 5:25, and 1 Corinthians 14:7. So let's look at this. Excuse me, guys, I just ate lunch and I'm hiccuping bad. All right, well, I don't understand why it's not in here, because it is saying that it is. And my little phone is dying on me. Let's see, 6:15. Oh, no wonder. Mark. I'm sorry. Not Matthew. Mark. 6:15. No wonder. I messed up. Well, I hope each and every one of you guys are having a great day today. Nurse J loves truth. And I'm sorry if I'm fumbling around here. But, well, it's not in here. I don't understand why that is. Okay, so Augustus Caesar. Oh, I think this is it. Okay, go to Acts 17:19. Either my Bible's playing tricks on me or my eyes are playing tricks on me today. Because this is crazy. $17.19. Okay, now Acts 17:19 says, and they took him and brought him up into Areopagus, saying, May we know what this new doctrine whereof thou speakest is? Okay, let's go to 17:22. Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill and said, Ye men of Athens, I perceive that in all things ye are too superstitious. And in Acts 28:15, And from thence, when the brethren heard of us, they came to meet us as far as Appii Forum, and the 3 taverns whom Paul saw, he thanked God and took courage. So the Appian and Areopagos in Greek is talking about Areas Piso. Otho, they honored Otho in Luke. Cleopatra Selene, honoring Cleopatra Selene, Cleopatra's daughter. In Mark, Matthew, Luke, Acts, Revelation, and 1 Corinthians. Ptolemy Dionysius, his name is Dionysius in Acts 17:34. Ptolemy Lysanias in Luke. Claudius Caesar in Acts. Okay, so let's do this. Perseus, the poet. Romans 6:12. 16:12, sorry. Perseus, which the Lord labored much. Salute Tryphena and Typhosa, who labor in the Lord. Salute the beloved Perseus, which labored much in the Lord. Perseus the poet was related to him. Bologna Priscilla, Ariopiso's wife. She is placed in the New Testament as the wife of Aquila. Because she was married to Arius Piso, she was now like the eagle at the top of the Roman standard. Also, in Timothy, Prisca, etc., Livy, the writer, the family was related to Livy, mentioned as Levi and Luke. Mark Antony, he was honored in the New Testament by the title of the Gospel book Mark, and he was also a Caesar, and his mother was a sister of the grandfather Lucius Julius Caesar. So, this makes him the uncle of Julius Caesar. Cornelius Tacitus, people. Cornelius in Acts. You know, the one that Peter went to and baptized him and his whole family. A fluke. Sorry, guys. Hate to be the bad guy. Livia, Caligula's sister, is in Romans as Julia. Justus in Acts. In Colossians, Justus Piso, his son. Publius Hadrian as Publius in Acts 28. Jason, their ancestor, in Acts and Romans. Rufus Cornelius as Rufus and Mark in Romans. Ananias Galileo, Gallio, was Seneca's brother as himself in Acts 18. Olympias, wife of Philip of Macedonia, as Olympus in Romans. Felix, the husband of Drusilla, the daughter of Agrippa in Acts. Gaius Calpurnius Piso was Gaius in Acts 19, 1 Corinthians 1, Romans 16. Pliny the Younger, Acts 20 and 4. Let's see here. Acts, let's look at here. Yes, it is. And they're accompanying him into Asia. Sopater of Berea and of the Thessalonians. Aristarchus and Secundus and Gaius of Derbe and Timotheus of Asia. Tychius and Trophimus. Secundus. Oh, my buddy Pliny. Tiberius, Caesar, and Luke. Matthias, and you know, remember when Judas, quote unquote, was killed? No, excuse me, he committed suicide. He had these devils, and you know, you get these contradictions. Oh, he hung himself, you know, and blah, blah, blah. He turned Jesus in for 30 pieces of silver. Blah, blah, blah. Well, the high priest, you know, Matthias, took Judas's place. Remember, Arius Piso was writing as Josephus, and Josephus ben Matthias, and he is descended from the high priest. And Arius was Matthias in Acts. Lucian the poet. Luke is short for Lucian. Acts 16. T. Flavius Clemens. Clemens is spelled out in Greek by running words together in John 15, 4, 5, and 6, and Philippians 4, 3. Philip of Macedonia. Okay, so Philip of Macedonian, he was a Greek, had a son named Lagos Ptolemy, whose son was the first Ptolemy. The great grandson of the first Ptolemy married Cleopatra the First, who was an Antiochian. Their great granddaughter was Cleopatra the Seventh, the Cleopatra that was associated with Julius Caesar. Her sister Arsinoe had a son who married Alexandra Regent, who was a Hasmonean. Their daughter was Miriam I, who married King Herod, and King Herod was an Idumean. The Idumeans came from a branch of the Maccabees that sprang from Eleazar Aaron through his son Jason. And from King Herod, of course, sprang the Herodians. King Herod's granddaughter Miriam, which is Area the Elder. Now we're getting close. Let's say this again. From King Herod, granddaughter Miriam, called Area the Elder, married Vespasian's brother, T. Flavius Sabinus II, a Flavian. See how these bloodlines are coming together. Her daughter Miriam, called Area the Younger, who married Gaius Piso. And when he died, Lucius Piso, both Caesars, the son of Gaius Piso and Miriam, Area the Younger, was Arius Piso, aka Flavius Josephus. As you can see, he was already a Flavian. He wasn't adopted by Titus or Vespasian. See, I hope you're getting it now, friends, and I'm hoping that you are getting yourself set free with Nurse J today. And I think little Sunny wants to get in the video, but I don't think she is. She is eating on her little bone right now. So I'm kind of looking at my notes here, guys. I'm not going to bore you with all the little detailed stuff. But we're going to get down here. Oh, hush up, dog. Don't you start. Okay. The correlations between the New Testament and Josephus, and even when I was reading the Roman Jew War book, I thought things were really crazy. The Abba issue, Abba Father or Abba for Father, in the New Testament where Jesus is down on the cross, calls out to God using the word Abba, which is Father. And lo and behold, hey Sonny, we find Josephus using the same word describing something similar in chapter 8, verse 7, Wars of the Jews. Also, we find James, the brother of Jesus, and John the Baptist, along with Jesus himself and Josephus. cometh. The Son of God, the Son of Man cometh. Hear ye, hear ye. When Josephus describes the way in which rocks were hurled over the walls by the Romans during the war, he makes the Jews look up and say, the stone cometh. Only he deliberately misspells stone. He says the Son cometh. That's in the War of the Jews, chapter 6, verse 3. And dog, if you don't quit scratching my foot. Stop it, dog. In Revelation 22, verse 18 and 19, Julius, who wrote the book, speaks of adding or taking away from this book, not meaning the Bible or even the New Testament, but the book of Revelation. He didn't want anyone changing what he had put in Revelation. And the kicker is that he even borrows this from his dad's book, Antiquities of the Jews. There, Josephus says in his book, in the beginning of this history, I intended to do no more than translate the Hebrew books into the Greek language and promise them to explain those facts without adding anything to them of my own or taking anything away from them. Wow. So anyway, friends, don't get scared. Don't get scared. When it says, God says, don't take away and don't add anything from my book or my word. Because this is BS. Now, the references for the Roman side of the war you're going to get from Josephus, Statius the poet, Suetonius, Tacitus, Persius the poet, Arrian, Lucian, Juvenal, Petronius, Arbiter, Lucian, Pliny the Younger, Martial, Ptolemy, and Epictetus, Plutarch, Appian, Seneca. The references for the Jewish side of the war is the Jewish Talmud, commentaries on the Midrash by Rashi, the Babylonian Talmud, which contains direct historical accounts of the destruction, Sadai Gaion, the Kabbalah Sefer Yetzirah, the Zohar, the Kabbalah of Israel ben Eleazar Baal Shem, So anyway, I hope you've liked this video. I encourage each and every one of you to read the book of Romans. And then if you see a name that looks quite funny to you, I dare and I challenge you to go look it up in the first century or the first BCE or what have you. Because I'm telling you, this is a wicked book and you can't believe what is written in it. Very little truth and lots of lies. Until next time, friends, Hotep and Ashe, and I hope I didn't keep you too long. If you want any other questions answered, please comment me, like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends and family about me, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.